Nowhere to go. Tune in for the infamous morning show, giving the news that you need to know. So don't you dare miss a wake-up call. Then in the evening, I got all for y'all. Eat your dose of daily vitamins. You know the queen makes it make sense. So true.
Talking real loud, spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, with rhythm in my soul. I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Rock and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. We keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights.
All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Everyone, please hit that like button. And remember, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Okay, let me put on some music today. Hold on. All right. So Be the Difference Clothing is here. Maya is here. Pearly, True Snow TV, 504 Nola. Okay, Nessie X, I see you. Claudette, All Hell Nah is in the house. All right. Cher was doing her thing, wasn't she? Okay, Andrea is here. Deronda, Byron Cook, DJ Big Six. Okay, so shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. Let's get ready to get black into it. Hello, Coco V. Queen Sam is in the house. Khalid Herleen, Watch Me Work is here. Okay, Desmond. And shout out to my moderators for putting in work. I see you, Sunshine, April. All right, let's get into it. Panther Strike. Okay, so everyone hit that like button. I see you, Lana. Now, let's talk about it because do you all know that they're out here dragging Kendrick Lamar? Out here dragging Kendrick Lamar, and then Skip Bayless came out and confessed and basically admitted that they apologized to Lil Wayne for snubbing him as it pertained to him performing at the Super Bowl. He said the NFL gave him an apology. So let's talk about it. Skip Bayless claims the NFL apologized to Lil Wayne after Super Bowl halftime show snub. So everyone seems thrilled about Kendrick Lamar heading the Super Bowl, the halftime show, fresh off a dominant night at the Grammys. where Not Like Us earned him Song of the Year, Record of the Year, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, and Best Music Video. Anticipation of his performance was at an all-time high. Everyone except Skip Bayless, as he and Lil Wayne, they're basically two peas in the pods, what they say. So Wayne is skipping the Super Bowl in his hometown of New Orleans, believing, like many in the hip-hop community, that Jay-Z's Rock Nation, which produced the halftime show, snubbed him. Okay, the fact that Lil Wayne won't headline the halftime show in the Big Easy tears Bayless apart. Okay, this is what Skip Bayless says. Yes, Lil Wayne is my brother, but anyone can see this is just so wrong. This is what Bayless said. So dirty, rotten, wrong, just so unfair. Come on, Wayne, it's New Orleans. And this Super Bowl obviously will be played in New Orleans. So why wasn't Wayne chosen? I don't know for sure, but this is what I think. Jay-Z runs the entertainment department for the NFL. So I'm assuming this was his decision and his alone. I'm guessing it came down to Wayne and Kendrick and Taylor Swift for halftime entertainment. But obviously, Kendrick's Not Like Us was on its way to being the song of the year, kept off at the Grammys. And obviously, it's yet another Drake diss track. And obviously, Wayne and Drake are closely associated. And so what? Well, Wayne is New Orleans. So according to Bayless, the NFL immediately sent Wayne a letter of apology from nobody in particular, just from the league in the NFL letterhead, he said. Okay, a letter that thanked him for his years of supporting the league, not just the Packers, his favorite team, but supporting and promoting the NFL in general, which he has. Now, I mean, he makes weekly appearances on the NFL Sunday program, NFL Game Day Morning on the NFL Network, but he will not play Sunday's halftime show, and he definitely won't watch a second of Sunday's halftime show. Okay, and so that's what Skip Bayless had to say. So what do y'all think about it? They have the nerve to apologize to Lil Wayne? I mean, if they were that pressed about it, maybe they should have just gotten Lil Wayne to perform. Maybe that's what they should have done. I just find it all very interesting. Like up, everyone, please like and share. And the fact that they did this immediately, it is kind of seeming like it was Jay-Z's idea and no one else had any say so in it. I mean, if that's how they feel, they should have probably expressed that to Jay-Z. But now Kendrick is being dragged, mind you, because some people don't think that he did such a good show, that the performance was less than lackluster, is what some people have said. So let's get into it. Noel Gallagher, for example, dismisses Kendrick Lamar's record-breaking Super Bowl halftime show as nonsense. And so he claimed that he switched off during Kendrick Lamar's critically acclaimed record-breaking Super Bowl halftime performance, which he branded as absolute nonsense. Now, the Oasis rocker gave a typically frank answer when asked about the show, which is now the most watched halftime gig of all time after drawing 133.5 million viewers. Okay, more than the Super Bowl itself. He said, I had to switch it off. It was absolute nonsense. That's because he didn't get it. Or maybe he got it and didn't like what he saw. He said, I didn't watch it at all. I just switched it off. There were like 300 people getting out of a car in the first 2 minutes. Now, asked about his favorite halftime performances, Gallagher said he rarely bothers tuning in. I never watched the halftime thing. I'm not interested. It's usually artists I don't like. Lamar is believed to have been a fan of Gallagher's band, as he has been spotted wearing Oasis t-shirts on a number of occasions. Well, I bet he won't be doing that anymore. Okay, Gallagher has previously made headlines for his opinions on hip-hop artists, most notably in 2008 when he slammed Glastonbury organizers for booking Jay-Z as a headliner. Now, claiming that the festival was built on a tradition of guitar music. Gallagher says Jay-Z's booking could be why Glastonbury tickets weren't selling as quickly as usual. It sounds like this man's a hater. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's a hater and just doesn't like the hip-hop genre. And that's probably because he doesn't like people who look like the people that are predominantly in the hip-hop genre. That's all I'm saying. Now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, he said at the time. If you start to break it, then people aren't going to go. I'm sorry, but Jay-Z, yeah, no chance. That's what he said. That's what he said. Okay, so what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? And you know, they said Rock Nation was getting backlash. Jay-Z was getting backlash and all of this. Okay, I mean, I just really don't think it was that serious for people to be so upset. Now, the one thing is, I believe it's Bree to you says that shows their stupidity. I absolutely agree. And I do think that a lot of people may not have understood the symbolisms within the performance, you know, like with the red, white, and blue, with them wearing the colors of our flag, and then them being unified at one point and then separated and divided at the other, was basically showing that this is not the time for us all to be divided, okay? Showing that how together we're strong, but when this country's divided, it's a whole lot of mess, okay? And then not to mention his whole, his entire performance was basically a peaceful protest. That's what it was. Okay, a peaceful protest. And we know how the NFL feels about peaceful protest. We know how they feel about it. I'm quite sure that they didn't want Kendrick to perform, because there's been several occasions when Kendrick has done performances and they were nothing less than peaceful protest. Okay, his messages is always something empowering. He's always got something to say, and he does a lot of symbolism. So, you know, I think that people are mad about that. That's my opinion. And also another thing that could be the case, because like I said, Jay-Z was getting dragged too, and Rock Nation. So I think that it could have something to do with these allegations against Jay-Z. Okay, it could have something to do with these allegations against Jay-Z. Maybe they felt like, you know, they need to come up with an excuse, perhaps. I'm just giving my own assessment. Maybe they feel like they need to come up with some sort of excuse, you know, to criticize Jay-Z's choice or whatever, for future references. Because we know that they didn't want to just, you know, talk down on him or turn their backs on him after those allegations, because that wouldn't have been good for business. Everybody was all hyped for the Super Bowl. Kendrick was performing, and, you know, everybody wanted to hear the song and all of that. So they didn't really want to lose any viewership from the Super Bowl or the halftime performance. And so I think that's why they stood up for Jay-Z when the allegations first came out. Okay, but now it looks like they might be trying to find a way, you know, to just not have Jay-Z in charge. Now, like I said, I don't know. That could or could not be the case. But it just all sounds very interesting as far as I'm concerned. Okay, and so likes up, everyone, please like and share. And before I get on to the next topic, let's have a word from my sponsor. Shawshana says either it went over their heads or they got it and were offended. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that either they didn't get it or they got it and didn't like what they saw. And that's probably exactly what it was, beloved. Probably exactly what it was. Okay, so let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes for your hair at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so now let's talk about it, because here's the thing. People are going in on Jay-Z and Rock Nation saying that they lied so bad. Okay, the internet criticizes Rock Nation for turning off their comments to their tweet claiming that Kendrick Lamar's performance was the most watched halftime show. So some people are saying they don't believe it, and they're calling them liars, and then going in on them for turning off their, basically turning off their comments. So following Kendrick Lamar's performance at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, Rock Nation announced that the musician broke the record and became the most watched halftime show in history. Now, I can believe that. I don't know why some people don't, but I can believe it. Now, after the same was heavily debated online, the Jay-Z founded organization reportedly turned off their comments on the social media posts that shared the news. Netizens have since taken to X to react to the same. While sharing on an Apple Music post on their official Instagram account on January the 12th, Roc Nation stated in the caption, while referring to K-Dot's most recent performance, saying, "We've broken the record again. The most watched Apple Music halftime show ever, with 133.5 million viewers." So the comments from the social media posts were still turned off at the writing of this article. Meanwhile, the Associated Press also reported that the musical performance averaged 133.5 million views, a 3% increase from last year's halftime show performance by Usher. Okay, so I don't know why people are mad. Roc Nation partnered with the NFL back in 2019 to become their live music entertainment strategist. The organization has been the sports league's advisor on the selection of artists to perform at the halftime shows for years now. So, and like I said, they basically are saying that Jay-Z and Roc Nation are lying, that wasn't the best performance or the most viewed and all of that, and that's why they turned off their comments. So, very interesting to me. Very interesting. But what do you all think? What do you all have to say about it? They just bitter and mad they didn't get it or understand. Okay? I can believe it too, Queen. Rock it out, Kendrick. Okay? YouTube user said it was wonderful. I mean, I thought it was fantastic. Like I said, I just think people are mad at the end of the day. I think that people are just quite frankly upset. So with that all being said, let's continue. Let's move on. And let's see what hold on. Let's see what they're talking about. Hold on here. Okay. Wait a minute. Why is this taking me back? Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to get something pulled up real quick. Okay. Now here's an article. Let's see what they're talking about. Deciphering. Is this it? Hold on. Deciphering Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. Let's see what they're talking about. What were all the hidden messages you saw during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance? Okay, so let's get into it. So they say it was essentially a 13-minute piece of art. Okay, an art piece filled with hidden messages and homages that I was excited to learn about. Okay, so let's take a look at Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance and try to uncover the hidden meanings and the Easter eggs hidden inside it. Now, since the NFL owns the copyright on the video of Lamar's halftime performance, we're not going to play that, okay, but we'll talk about it. Now, they had Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam, okay, and Uncle Tom. Okay, so let's start with that. Okay, now Samuel L. Jackson, who introduced Kendrick while dressed like Uncle Sam, the antagonist of the performance, who kept telling Lamar how to act in order to play the game. Okay, he played a literal government figurehead there to try to stop Kendrick from spreading his messages, warning Kendrick about being too loud, too reckless, and too ghetto. Okay, now this is a major hallmark of classic Uncle Tom tropes in literature. In fact, it's reminiscent of the character Stephen in Django Unchained, another role in which Samuel L. Jackson famously depicts an Uncle Tom-like character. Now, the revolution about to be televised. Okay, so right at the top, Lamar confronted America and then told them it didn't matter what they thought of him or his performance. He was there to televise the revolution, saying the revolution's about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Now, the line was in reference to Gil Scott-Heron's 1971 poem, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, okay? Which is about how individuals are responsible for the change they want to see in the world because the media will always ignore racism. Okay, however, what Lamar seems to be saying here is that the revolution is happening right now on the Super Bowl halftime stage, and it is being televised. So all the game motifs. Now, there were so many little callbacks to games and rules. First of all, Lamar was performing at one of the biggest games of the year, Second, the stages on which he performed were shaped and arranged like the buttons on a PlayStation controller. Okay, at the end of the performance, Kendrick ended with the words, "Game over." Now, what does all of this mean? Well, ask Shelley Rogers, the halftime show's art director, who worked alongside Lamar to create his vision for the entire performance. Rogers told Wired, she says, "I think the video game theme was symbolic. It was his way to reach young people, and a lot of it was showing his journey traveling through the American dream." Okay, Lamar's all-black dancers who wore red, white, and blue costumes to form an American flag with a split down the middle. To me, this was about the absolute divisiveness going on in America right now. Same thing I said, with political lines drawn. But I know some people also argue it's all about how America was built on the backs of slavery, which I think is also an accurate reading. Now, especially after he rapped 40 Acres and a Mule. Okay, y'all caught that, right? Now, this is bigger than music, a reference to Union General William T. Sherman's Special Field Order number 15 that gave newly freed slaves confiscated Confederate land in the South. Now, the costumes. What about Kendrick Lamar's outfit? Okay, well, he was in a jacket that read Gloria, which is a reference to his song with SZA. Now, he also sported a chain featuring a lowercase a, which could not only be a reference to the A minor line from Not Like Us, but also to his company, PG Lane, which I told you all that a couple of days ago. Now, another idea I read about and liked was from Newsweek, which said the outfits of the dancers signified gangs in America. We saw red as the Bloods, then blue as the Crips, and white as the KKK. Now, I want you all to think about something because, you know, that is true. The red and the blue could represent those gangs, but also the Democrats and the Republicans. Okay, think about that because they're gangs too, as far as I'm concerned. But let's continue. Now, Lamar performed Luther and All the Stars with SZA, who marked a huge shift in tone from energetic and in your face to subdued and sexy. And it's exactly what Uncle Sam says America wants from him, something nice and calm. It's funny because the opinion is quite split on Lamar's halftime show. Some say it was boring, while others say it was one of the greatest of all time. Well, you know, the ones that think it's boring are the ones who just don't get it. Their elevators don't go all the way up. Now, that's just my opinion, okay? Or they just didn't like it because they did get it and they're just mad. They didn't like the message. But that's the kind of point he's making here. His performance wasn't your typical Super Bowl spectacle with just big surprise guests and fireworks. It was poetic, artistic, and deep. It was controversial and outspoken. It was something that made people have to think. And this is what Kendrick's performances usually are, in my opinion. Okay, I've been listening to Kendrick before he was famous. All right, him, Ab-Soul, Schoolboy Q, all of them. Now, one really interesting visual message that I noticed during all the lights was how the circular stage was built. A staircase that led to a slope that brought the dancers all the way back to where they started from, the bottom. Now that stage could have just been a flat circle, right? I'm thinking it was built like that for a reason. Maybe it's trying to communicate how marginalized groups, or even just the majority of the middle and low class in America, feel like they're working hard to make their lives better, all the while slowly descending back to where they started from. Now, round and around they go, the same efforts with the same results. Yeah, like I tell you all, a myriad of times. I've told you, like a hamster in a wheel, continuously spinning and round, but not going anywhere. Okay, now the Drake beef. This part of the performance was no doubt going to be the most popular since it centered on his beef with Drake and the most famous song of the year, They Not Like Us. Now, Lamar teases the intro of the song by saying, I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. Okay, in reference to Drake's lawsuit against Universal Music Group for promoting They Not Like Us. Also, Serena Williams made a cameo. Not only is she from Compton like him, but she's also somebody who dated Drake. Okay, that was another added layer to the diss. I brought that up the other day. But here's probably the most badass thing Lamar did. Okay, fans were wondering if he would call out Drake as he did in the song. And while some of the language had to be toned down for the performance, Lamar looked right into the camera, smiled, and said that line, "Hey, Drake, I hear you like I'm young." Okay, so, I mean, I think that some people just didn't like the message. Like I told you, that it was basically a protest. And not to mention his digs at Drake. Okay, so James says the choreography, the outfits, the 5 different stages, everything was good and on point. I absolutely agree. And I think it was genius of him to bring out Serena Williams during the Crip Walk. Okay, please pay attention. Now, here's the thing, though. Let's talk about Drake for a minute, because Drake is a whole Karen, as I said before, and other people have said too. But here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention, because Drake's lawsuit, Queen, your son reminds me of Kendrick. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. I appreciate you, and thank you for purchasing a membership and being one for 3 months. Well, you know, I have heard that before, and he hates when people tell him that, because he's like, oh, I don't want to sound like anybody. But I agree with you on that. Thank you, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about Drake's lawsuit. Because here's the thing. Drake, being the Karen that he is, he got that upset over words, a diss track that he started. Okay, he started it. And then he wants to play the victim. But here's the thing. If Drake should win his lawsuit, now I don't think he's going to win. I really don't think he has a leg to stand on even. But if he were by any crazy stretch to win his lawsuit, this could forever change hip hop. The way people engage in rap battles, okay, and rap beefs in hip hop. That could forever change, because people have always hit below the belts. People have always talked about, I mean, it's always been, you know, all bets are off. There's been no boundaries. People talk about your mom, your dad, your siblings, whoever. Okay, that's what people have always done throughout hip hop. Now Drake wants to sit there and say that it's being, you know, used to defame him. Okay, as if everything that's said in a rap beef or battle has to be 100% true. A lot of it's said for fun, and a lot of it is just artistic expression. And so, you know, I want you all to think about that, because if Drake does win that lawsuit, which I don't think he will, like I said, if he does, that could forever change the landscape of hip hop. Okay, and this is further proof that Drake is not like us. All right, I just want you all to pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about the diddler. Oh, I'm sorry. No, before we talk about Diddy, let's talk about Jay-Z, because since we're talking about the Super Bowl and all that, because Gilly the Kid criticized Jay-Z and his Rock Nation brunch. He said, I learned all that ish is fake. That's what he said during his Club Shay Shay interview. Okay, he went in. Looks like Gilly the Kid isn't waiting around for an invitation to Jay-Z's famed Rock Nation's brunch. In a newly released interview with Shannon Sharp from Club Shay Shay, the hip-hop star turned podcaster took a moment to reflect on industry parties and events, highlighting issues that he has with Jay-Z's Rock Nation brunch. Now, after getting the green light to speak candidly, Gilly the Kid alluded to the annual event, saying it's just a way for Jay to flex his power. That's what he said. It's just a way for him to flex his power. Okay, please pay attention. He also questioned what people get for attending. Okay, other than maybe a picture with a multi-hyphenate businessman. He says the ninja don't even smile with you ninjas if you ain't worth 500 million or more. This is what Gilly says. Let's be for real. The only smiling he do is when the billionaires are in the picture. Look at all these broke ninjas. He says, look at all these broke ninjas on the lawn. Like, that's what Jay-Z's thinking. You know, and I absolutely agree, because I have told you all that. Jay-Z has always bragged about how he made it from the bottom, how he came out of Marxist projects, but what has he done? You know, he put a whole lot of illegal substances in his own community back in the day. He helped to have Black people who look like him taken out of their homes when they were building the Barclays Stadium. If you missed that video where I did a thorough breakdown, please go back and watch, where I showed just how low down and dirty Jay-Z absolutely is. Okay, absolutely is, in my opinion. Now, explaining why he tends to opt out of attending events such as the Rock Nation brunch or industry parties, he later said, I learned that all that ish is fake. Okay? All of it's fake. And if it's fake, then so are the people that attend, as far as he's concerned. Okay? So what do y'all think about it? I mean, because Jay-Z does seem to think that he's all this, that, and the third, okay? And he goes from being street life and having street cred and all the nefarious things that we know about him from the past to dressing and carrying himself as a bisexual artist, okay, who was highly revered. Okay, please pay attention. What's that even all about? Now, I'm going to go to some audio. I'm going to put an overlay on the screen because I don't have permission to use this, but I want you all to hear what this legal expert says about Diddy, because it's the same thing that I've been telling you all for months. since last year. I've been telling you all constantly how all of these liars who love to lie, all of these people just piling on bullshit onto Diddy's case, all of these people out here trying to clout chase and get money for interviews or whatever, just making up stuff to keep the stories going, fueling the fire, and just lying. That they're taken away from the real victims, and they could likely get Diddy some kind of technicality or mistrial. Okay, now I want you all to pay attention, because here is another legal expert saying the same thing. All right, likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Lisa Jackson says he damn sure didn't buy Marcy. Okay. Thank you, beloved, for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Yeah, I just think it was real shady of Jay-Z to have those people thinking that it's going to be a Black-owned stadium. And, he had such a little minuscule role in it, to say the least. And then, those people were displaced and all of that. They tried to sue. The judge dismissed their claims and they weren't able to refile or any of that stuff. It was just all real sad. But let's continue. Now, in this segment, they're actually talking about Diddy's alleged involvement in the murder of Tupac. Okay, because Keefy D, he's already given incriminating evidence or testimony before and all of that. And so this is basically what they're talking about. Now, he's going to ask a legal expert what they think about Diddy's possible role in this or whatever. And what he said is interesting, because I absolutely think that Diddy had everything to do with it. I absolutely have always believed it. The problem is we don't have any proof. All we have are the words of a liar, and that's Dwayne Keefy D. Davis. His credibility has been shot because he's changed the story a myriad of times. And now he's trying to downplay his own role in it, which he already had previously admitted to, even went so far as to write a book and did a myriad of interviews. So he's not credible. But let's keep listening. On. Oh my God, I am so sorry, you guys. I just started reading the comments that you all said you couldn't hear it. My apologies. Darn it, I forgot to share the thing. Hold on. I am so sorry. I'm sitting here listening to myself and you all can't even hear what's going on. Okay. So now let me restart. Sorry, you guys. Okay, here we go.
This was a big one. Smalls was gunned down in a drive-by shooting out in Los Angeles in March of 1997. You might be saying, I thought they were friends, right? Anybody who followed this. We did a whole sidebar on this, but Gene Deal, a former bodyguard for Combs who has recently started doing interviews and offering theories on Combs' alleged bad behavior, now says the rapper could have been involved in killing Biggie. So Deal, who was reportedly Combs' bodyguard from 1991 to 2005, sat down for the documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, that aired on Peacock. And according to him, Combs was acting weird in the lead up to Biggie's murder. He says in the documentary, the week in which Biggie was murdered, he was just acting real anxious and trying to get Big at this party. And what was crazy was Big was telling people he had to be in London, but Puff was telling people he ain't going to London that whole week. You fast forward to the day of the party and Deal says, I'm sitting up at the Beverly Hills Hotel and I get a phone call. It's about 9 o'clock and they say, Gene, get ready. We going to the Vibe party. I was like, We go into the party, we don't have no security. But according to Deal, he tried to warn Combs this probably wasn't a good idea. I said, yo, Puff, I got some intel, bruh. He said, what? I said, yo, man, if we go to this party tonight, one of us is going to get killed. Somebody going to die because now we got East Coast, West Coast beef. He said, yo, Gene, I don't want to hear that S, so we all jump in the car. I was in a car with Puff. Big was in his own car. And the next thing you know, you hear pow, 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 pow. Biggie was shot 4 times, died right after arriving at the hospital. And according to Deal, Combs showed up at the hospital, seemed shocked that Biggie was dead. And we asked celebrity criminal defense attorney Brian McMonigal about this latest accusation against Combs, who's already facing these 3 federal charges related to the so-called freak-off activity. And again, he's facing dozens of civil lawsuits. But here's what Brian had to say.
I don't see this. This is a 30-year-old accusation. And it seems to me that it's getting to a point where Diddy's concerned, where it's dangerously getting to piling on in a way that I think might just help him. As I thought about this last night, once I saw the article in the Post and was referenced on the documentary, it seems to me that there are a lot of people now that are jumping on this bandwagon of making what I would say are baseless allegations against this guy. This one in particular just smells to me. Did this guy say any of this stuff over the past 30 years to anybody in law enforcement? Has there ever been any kind of a suggestion that he was involved by law enforcement? It seemed to me that he was in a close relationship with Biggie, and that if anything, he was on the other side of this East Coast, West Coast fight. So the one thing that I would say about it is just bringing this kind of full circle to this upcoming trial. They're going to be looking for things like this, the defense in this trial. They're going to be looking for accusations that are stretched. They're going to looking for moments that they can disprove things. And make no mistake about it, there'll be a few things like that. And hope that that'll give them the kind of strength and ability to diffuse perhaps as many of these allegations as they can where this indictment's concerned.
Anxiety, depression.
Okay, so you all heard that. You all heard that. At the end of the day, all these lies and stuff is making it easy for Diddy. Okay, I told you guys a myriad of times how his lawyers keep saying, oh, they're making it impossible for him to get a fair trial. Oh, they're prohibiting him from getting a fair trial. Oh, they're muddying the waters. They keep saying all this stuff for a reason. Okay, this is all crazy. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about Wendy Williams, because I found it very disturbing. I find it very disturbing that Wendy is being kept like a hostage, like somebody who's committed a crime, like she's in prison, not allowed to go anywhere. No one can come and visit. She's not even allowed to have her own cell phone. Okay, it looked like she was talking on a handheld phone, but not her cell phone. And then she's looking out of a window. She's not even allowed to come down to do the interview with Harvey. I mean, this is all crazy. Did you all see that? Once in the chat, if you saw the interview that Wendy Williams did with Harvey Levin, Lisa says, I'm not shocked. Okay, it sounds like Diddy. It sounds about Diddy. I'm from New York. What talent did he have? I'm just saying. Exactly. I never thought he had any talent. Not even dancing, which is what he got started off with. Dancing in people's videos. I never thought he could dance. Thank you for your insight to the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, so a lot of you guys are saying that you saw it. I just thought it was very sad how they had Wendy up in that window. She can't even come out. And then come to find out, allegedly, this all started because her son, Kevin Jr., was stealing her money. Said her son was stealing her darn money, which I find all interesting. They said he was supposedly trying to rent a boat for his birthday or something, and said that it was going to cost like $1,500 and ended up spending over $100,000. And so the bank started noticing these huge amounts of withdrawals from her account, and that's what got them to looking into it. So, and right now, Wendy sounds like she's in her right frame of mind. They're thinking that maybe she was misdiagnosed when they said that she had this form of dementia that's incurable and that it's, only gets worse progressively, doesn't get any better. But they're suggesting that maybe she has, Harvey Levin, that is suggesting that maybe she had alcohol-induced dementia, which that does get better over time if you stop consuming alcohol. So this is all just real crazy how they have this woman locked up. I mean, I'm going to share my screen so you all can hear the audio. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now that's what I have to do, is start sharing the screen before I put up the overlay. Because for one, that's why I didn't know that it wasn't even sharing it. Hold on. Let me put something up here. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, here we go.
The system has failed from top to bottom regarding this guardian and everybody involved with that. The system has failed. I want my freedom back. How about that?
Wendy Williams is opening up about her life in an assisted living facility, describing conditions that she claims have kept her isolated and under many restrictions. In the new Tubi TV documentary, TMZ presents.
Now, I want you all to see this. I'm just going to share the screen. I muted the sound for a second. But look at this. This is so sad. That's Wendy up there crying from her window during an interview. This is absolutely nefarious. She is literally being held captive. Okay? This is just not acceptable. I mean, there has got to be something that somebody can do. How are they allowed to get away with this?
Saving Wendy Williams, the former talk show host spoke with TMZ host Harvey Levin over the phone while cameras recorded her from outside the facility. Williams claims she's being confined to one area and has barely been outdoors.
In the last 30 days, I went out twice for my teeth, you know what I'm saying? And that would be that.
Wendy, I gotta say, even people who are in prison for murder get an hour a day outside. And you've only been outside in fresh air twice in the last 30 days?
Yes.
What is it like?
If you've been injured in a recent car accident that wasn't your fault, I'm gonna show you how.
Isolated, well, you see where I am, right? Where I am is this place where the people are older, you know what I'm saying?
Now, y'all hear this? She said she's in a place. That's where she is right there. This is an assisted living facility. This is for people who are elderly or disabled. And this is where they have her housed at. She said the people there are like 90-something years old.
They are in their 90s and their 80s. They call this the memory unit. I am part of the memory unit. A memory unit, in other words, what? Somebody who doesn't remember crap? Are you serious? This is my life. You know what I'm saying? The memory unit is suffocating. I mean, like, I eat lunch and dinner, and my...
Desmond said Storm Monroe said that her husband and the network set her up. She was going to go back to the radio. How does Storm Monroe know that, honey? I don't listen to Storm Monroe, but thanks for the insight and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. I don't know that she was going back to the radio. I don't even believe that at the end of the day. I think that this all started, now this is my opinion, they started saying this stuff about Wendy and acting like she was out of her mind after she told Dr. Oz she wasn't going to take that venom and that she didn't trust it. That's when all the stuff started, as far as I'm concerned.
Bedlam. I go and eat out there with the people that live here just because it's so goddamn depressing.
The 60-year-old, who has been placed in the facility by her court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, also says her communication with friends and loved ones has been restricted.
I can call you, but you can't call me.
What about communications? Do you have an iPad or some form of a computer?
I have not. Listen, I've asked the guardian person for an iPad since years, it seems like, but an iPad. Can I please have my telephone back? Can I please be able to call, my family? What is the problem with me calling and talking to friends of mine? They're not allowed to come in here, friends of mine. You know what I'm saying?
The Williams guardian previously claimed that she had been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and primary progressive aphasia, and court documents stated that she is legally incapacitated. But in the documentary, Williams denies those claims. Her niece, as well as Levin, who both have spoken with Williams at length, also say Williams does not appear to be incapacitated. And as Access Hollywood previously reported, Williams' guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, requested a new medical evaluation for the TV personality earlier this month.
In terms of how I feel, health-wise, I feel fantastic. Listen, I'm not incapacitated.
There was a period where there were questions about people that were in her life, things that were going on with her financially, things that were...
Now, this is her niece speaking, okay? This is her niece speaking to Harvey Levin.
Going on medically. I absolutely understand why the court felt she needed a guardian at the time. I think that that's what people saw in the documentary, is that the Wendy Williams that we all know, the Wendy Williams that I've grown up with for 34 years, it was different. That's not the woman that we all knew and loved and still love to this day. My thing is where we're at now, which is this is a woman that, for whatever she was going through a year or 2 years ago, is not in that space anymore.
Wendy Williams had a severe alcohol problem, and she was diagnosed with frontal temporal dementia. She's sober now. Speaking to her on the phone, which I have done numerous times now, I am now hearing no evidence of somebody who's having memory lapses, somebody who's having trouble putting sentences together. And I have spoken with now numerous other people who have had similar experiences with her.
Are you drowning in payday loan debt? Have you taken out multiple payday loans and are unable to pay them back?
As part of their conversation, Harvey asked Williams to share her thoughts on several different topics so viewers could decide for themselves.
We happen to be doing this the day of Donald Trump's inauguration as president. What do you think about that?
Good for him. He's the 47th president, right?
Yep.
47th president of the United States.
What do you think of Trump becoming president again?
Good for him. Take the 4 years, and then can we start over with a younger president? I'm talking about somebody in their 50s. You know what I'm saying? I first met him at a movie in New York, and it turns out that I sit to the right of Donald Trump, like literally next to him. And so we got in conversation, and I had some candy, you know what I'm saying? I love Werther's Originals, and I love Jolly Ranchers, right? So he was observing, my weight. I look at him like, what are you looking at my weight? I'm looking at him and I'm laughing. And that's the first time that I met him. The second time that I met him, he actually came to the show. You know what I'm saying?
There are some people that are heavy.
Yes.
And they do great.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't mind losing a couple of pounds either, right?
Well, you always keep yourself together.
Yeah.
Oddly, I don't picture you as the gym guy.
I always like wearing a jacket. It's much easier.
Yes.
And we talked, and you know what I'm saying? And he was very snide and saying, Wendy, you do look really good. I was like, what are you talking about? My weight? He's the type of person.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. So you all clearly can hear that she sounds like she's in her right frame of mind. That there seems to be no logical explanation for them to be having this woman held captive like she's Rapunzel, trapped in some high tower and not allowed to come out and to get fresh air. In 30 days, she's literally only been outside twice. That's crazy. She's not even allowed to have the internet. What is she supposed to do to entertain herself? Can't pick up the phone to call family or friends. This is all crazy, okay? And here's the thing. I do believe that she signed something. Hold on. That she signed some legal document. Yeah, I almost forgot about this. And I found this out right before I went live. Okay, Wendy Williams signs legal document to end guardianship. Medical evaluation set next week, according to a report. Okay, so this sounds good and promising, and likely because a light was shown on her predicament, okay, by this interview. So the former talk show host, who's 60 years old, signed an affidavit on Wednesday afternoon asking a judge to end her guardianship, according to TMZ. Sources told the outlet that Wendy Williams claimed that she regained the capacity to function without her court-ordered guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, who has been in charge of her well-being and finances since 2022. Now, insiders say that she will allegedly be reevaluated by a doctor next Tuesday, adding that the physician was handpicked by Williams' legal team, whom she hired to end her guardianship. Her lawyers will then allegedly file an emergency order to force the judge to look into ending the years-long guardianship. I hope so. I hope this goes through. Okay, so Williams' attorneys reportedly already have a plan in place if the judge turns down the request, which sources are telling TMZ that Wendy will demand a jury trial to hear her plea. Now, the Post has reached out to Wendy Williams' attorneys, with one declining to comment. Her other attorney, Jason Atlas, responded, saying that everyone in the case has Wendy's best interest at heart, and we all expect that the ultimate outcome will be in line with those best interests. So the news comes after the outlet dropped its latest documentary titled TMZ Presents Saving Wendy, and it's available on Tubi for those of you who haven't seen it. Okay, Williams has been living in a New York facility, which she said is more like a prison. Okay, in the doc, the beloved former Wendy Williams show star claims that she's only been outside twice in the last 30 days. No, I'm not allowed to go out. I can call you, but you can't call me. This is what she told Harvey Levin. In the last 30 days, I went out twice. This is just heartbreaking to hear as far as I'm concerned. Williams is not allowed to have any visitors at the facility, so the interview was conducted over the phone. TMZ filmed Williams from the sidewalk below as she stood looking out of the 5th-story window. She also charged that the system has failed her, arguing that she is not cognitively impaired, while making it clear, I want my freedom back. Okay, this system has failed from top to bottom regarding this guardianship and everybody involved with that. Now, earlier this month, Williams's guardian informed a judge that she'd be open to having the star undergo a new medical evaluation in light of Wendy's claims that she is suffering from dementia, despite being diagnosed by doctors at Weill Cornell Medical Center. But here's the thing. You know, I looked into this. She has this frontal temporal dementia. I think that's what it's called. Hold on. Let me just. Yeah, it's called frontal temporal dementia. And here's the thing with that. It is easily confused with alcohol-induced dementia. Okay, the two are closely related, and you can absolutely misdiagnose someone for one or the other because that's how similar the symptoms are, supposedly. The main difference is that the person with the frontal temporal dementia doesn't get better. They get progressively worse over time. But like I told you guys, with the alcohol-induced dementia, if the person simply stays away from alcohol, stops consuming it, they can eventually get better. And that's what it looks like has happened here in Wendy's case. Okay, so I think she's absolutely better. And they need to let her the hell up out of there as far as I'm concerned. Okay, Joy said doctors can be purchased too. Absolutely they can. You better know it. Okay, you absolutely better know it, beloved. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, now let's talk about Trump. Okay, and Elon and Maxine Waters. Because I told you guys days ago that all this stuff that Elon Musk has been uncovering basically sounds like, oh, damn. I just had my receipt pulled up and just that quick, I lost it. Hold on. Let me pull it back up again. I told you guys that all that stuff that he was finding, you know, that all this stuff has been spent on. I told you guys that it sounded like money laundering to me. And that's still what it sounds like. But the thing is, why was Elon looking for all this stuff? Was he doing it for us so we can know these things that are going on behind closed doors, what our tax dollars are being spent on? Or was he doing it because he's under investigation by some of these same departments that he's investigating, that he's looking into? Okay. But here's the thing. I want you all to hear what Maxine Waters said. Because Maxine Waters told on herself. And she told on the demon cracks as well, as far as I'm concerned. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Here we go.
When Musk comes knocking at the Fed's door, you gonna let him in?
I don't have anything for you on that.
Would you like to tell us today that you won't let Doge into the Federal Reserve or have access to the systems and the data?
So I don't have any, we've had no contact, and I don't really have, I have nothing for you to report today on that.
Well, you know what happened at Treasury, and you know what happened over at the CFPB, and the people of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk and Trump, and we don't know what all they have on us, our bank accounts, everything that in our lives. So I want to protect it in the Fed. Mr. Powell.
Now, did y'all hear what she just said? Did you all hear what she just said? She said, we don't know what all they have on us. Y'all heard that right? Y'all heard that right? She literally said, we don't know what all they have on us. Yeah, I know you don't. Let me rewind it back.
In the Fed, Mr. Powell, the last time you testified before this committee, you said, and I quote, really successful institutions in the United States generally are those that do a really good job on diversity and get the best out of people and attract a broad, diverse range of talents to the table. That is the way we feel about it. And at the Fed, and that is what we've been doing.
On it.
Okay, so with that all being said, hold on, guys. I was actually trying to replay that. I didn't go back enough. But anyway, I want y'all to pay attention because I find that all interesting. She said, we don't know what all they have on us. Now, Sierra says, how are these people in Congress that are making hundreds of thousands a year turning out to be multimillionaires? Oh, exactly. That's what I said days ago. That's what I said. How are they so wealthy? Okay, how are they so wealthy? I had several questions. Where's all that money really going? Okay. Now, hold on, because there's more. We're going to go to another video with Maxine still going in on Elon Musk.
Kiss from a cherry blossom. Burt's Bees.
And now, one of my great heroes, Maxine Waters.
Wow. Look at this crowd. Elon Musk, where are you? Bring your ass over here so you can see who's here and what we're doing. We're not afraid of you. We know that you are the co-president now of the United States of America. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to follow very closely what he's doing and how he has done it. First of all, we're here at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. What is it? This is so important. Prior to this being organized in the Dodd-Frank reforms, consumers didn't have any place to really file complaints. They didn't have anywhere to go when the biggest banks in America was ripping them off. The student loans were being undermined. They didn't have any place to go. But guess what? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was organized in a way to deal with people who are the victims of fraud by the biggest corporations in America.
Hold on, I'm going to let Maxine finish. I'm going to let Auntie Maxine finish, but Lisa Jackson said it's in her bank account, not mine. Okay? This is all so crazy. This is all so crazy. Thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Sierra says, they didn't fight this hard for George Floyd. Just take a knee and let us see what is exposed. That's what I'm talking about, okay? They think that symbolic gestures is good enough for us. Well, it should be good enough for them, okay? It should be good enough for them. Now, all hell no, said, go lay down and retire, Agnes. Okay, but let's keep listening.
So, what do? They're holding mega banks accountable for violating the law. They're protecting service members from illegal fees, high interest loans, and false advertising. Stops discrimination in housing and the U.S. economy. Protects students from scams. Why does Elon Musk want to get rid of all of this? Because he's a thief. He's a gangster. He brings his billionaire friends along with him because they think that they can take over this country. And Trump has said, you give me enough money, you can have it. And that's what he has done. He has turned over our country to Elon Musk. We didn't elect him. We didn't select him. We didn't ask for him. And we don't want him.
You got that right.
And so, if he thinks we're pushovers, he got another thought coming. We are prepared to fight.
I find it also interesting. Okay, Auntie Lynn just gifted the channel 5 memberships. Thank you, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Okay, and you guys be sure to shout her out for purchasing those memberships, especially if you get one of them.
We're prepared to fight. And while he is collecting all of the data, he has violated our privacy. He has violated our privacy, and he keeps going. Well, you know, we fought him over at Treasury. Remember, he took his little gangsters in, and they stole our private information. And we organized in the way that we're doing today. He was surprised as hell. He didn't know that we would come together in the way that we're doing.
You tell him, Auntie Maxine. Auntie Leah said, Queen, I need to take a break from YouTube. I'm taking care of my mom in hospice. I will be back when I can get my attention 100% again. Be blessed, family. All right. Thank you, beloved. And best wishes to your mom. Okay. And prayers for you and your mom. All right. Thank you, beloved. I really appreciate you. And take your time. Okay. I'll add you back as a mod when you're able to come back. All right. But just take it easy and worry about your, take care of your mom and do everything you have to do.
USAID. He went in there. Why did he go? It is my understanding he was already under investigation by you. And so he went in there to steal all of the records, to get all of the data. But guess what? It's something bigger going on with him and Trump.
Well, she's not lying right there. She said he went in there because he was under investigation. I told you all this days ago. Absolutely, he's under investigation. That's his ulterior motive, in my opinion. Not because he was trying to expose them and their corruption, alleged corruption, to us so that we know exactly what's going on. The government has never, in my opinion, been fully transparent with the American citizens. So why would we think they're going to start now? I knew that Elon and Trump were up to something. I just didn't know what. But now that we know that this is all to benefit him. And also, I think you'll all be interested to know that Trump, in fact, has announced that they're going to be purchasing all of these cyber vehicles from Elon. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Now, Panther Strike, thank you for becoming a YouTube channel member, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Okay, Lisa Jackson said, and we need your ace to go, Miss Billionaire. We need your ace to go too, Miss Billionaire. Okay, she needs to sit down somewhere. All of them are nefarious and low down as far as I'm concerned. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Yeah, like I told you, all of these politicians, the Democrats and the Republicans, they're all shady. They all engage in corruption as far as I'm concerned. And quite frankly, I think that the United States government as a whole, as a collective, has probably always engaged in money laundering. How would we know? Okay? How would we know? And if we do know and find out, what can we do about it besides nothing? Okay? And think about the Internal Revenue Service. That was an entity that was started to help fund a war. But here we still have it in 2025. Now Trump's talking about getting rid of it, and I hope he does.
Elon is over in South Africa threatening Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, and telling him, we are coming in here, I'm going to create a whole battery factory. But you guys work to get something, I believe in your constitution, that says that the black South Africans and people who we fought for to get rid of apartheid now can have 30% in all of the foreign businesses that come in. Elon Musk said, I'm going to build a battery factory. I want you to get rid of that 30%. And so we said no. And so I talked with the ambassador from South Africa. They're fighting, they're struggling. But guess what happened? Trump announced that they're going to get rid of all the foreign aid if he doesn't do it. And they're reorganizing all of the right-wing old people that we fought in order to get rid of apartheid. But now these gangsters are going to threaten and bluff them and take over South Africa by going in and developing all of Elon's businesses and the battery factory. This is thievery.
You know what's interesting? You're right, Auntie Maxine. It is thievery, and they are thugs. And in fact, they're gang members. But so are you, ma'am. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Because like I said, the reason the Democrats and the Republicans wear blue and red is because they're gang members, just like the Crips and the Bloods. These people are all thugs. And it's time that we all acknowledge that for what it is. They're all thugs, okay? They're a whole mafia as far as I'm concerned. Now, she's sitting here going hard in the paint, talking about what Trump's nefarious low-down self, he and Elon, are going to do to South Africa. And it's all deplorable, okay, at the end of the day, and filled with wanton supremacy and racism. But the bottom line is, where was Auntie Maxine to go in on Obama and Hillary, or shall I say Hillary, when they gave the okay for NATO to take out Muammar Gaddafi, okay, and do all the bullshit that they did to Libya. And then she's calling Trump and Elon thieves. Well, they likely are thieves. I think most politicians are thieves, in fact. And here's the thing. Well, Elon Musk is no politician. Let's not even go there. But a thief nonetheless, likely. But here's the thing. Where was Auntie Maxine to go in when all of the 144 tons of gold that Muammar Gaddafi had over there in Libya, and then after he was assassinated, where did all that gold come from? I mean, where did that gold end up? She's not talking about the thievery of that, because I find it interesting. Didn't we see video footage of American soldiers with some of that gold? Yeah, I absolutely saw it. But let's continue. See, they're all thieves. They're all thugs. They're all gang members. That's what they are, all of them.
20, 180. That's how many clients I'm going to get you, and that's how many days it's going to take me to do it.
We have worked too hard. We have fought too hard for this democracy, and we ain't turning it over to Elon Musk. I want Elon Musk to know that we're going to stop him. I don't care what he thinks about his power. I don't care what he thinks about his ownership of this country. First of all, I want you to applaud the courts. They're doing a pretty damn good job right now. They're doing a pretty damn good job, but they will be as strong as we are. When we show up in the numbers like we're doing today, it sends a message to the courts that we mean business. Do we mean business? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got to send another message out here. And the message is, for all of you who voted for him, you didn't know he was going to get you too. And so, we want you to come forward. And I want you to say, I voted, but I changed my mind. I didn't know that he was going to get me too. I didn't know that he was going to make sure that anybody in any of these agencies where we want to go in and capture all of this data, which we will monetize. He's all about money. All of it will be monetized. I'm so proud to be here with you today. One of the greatest achievements of my career has been the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And let me just wrap this up by saying I was there when we created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. In the Dodd-Frank reforms, remember that? And we created that, and I've worked with it. They have fought us. The Republicans have tried to destroy it. We have won in the Supreme Court, but we were smart. When we organized it, we made sure they didn't have to go through the appropriations process. They get their funding directly from the feds. And just as we work to protect it so that their money would not be taken from them in the appropriations process, we're going to work now to make sure that he's not going to kill the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We're not going to allow it. They lied on us when we were over at the Department of Education. They said, that's what Trump said. He said that we were breaking in. We ain't breaking in nowhere. We're using our power. We're using our collective power. We're standing up. We're speaking out. And this is our country, and we're not going to let Elon Musk have it. He can't have it. So, Elon, come here and face us. Bring your ass on over here. Come on over here and face us so you can hear from us. You can see us. You can look us in the eye. We're not afraid. Are we going to fight?
Okay, she might want to slow her roll talking about, are we going to fight? Because if they all head down to the Capitol and start doing it, then she's going to be in trouble just like Trump was. Pay attention. Queen Nina Starr says, and where is the Haitian relief funds? It was almost $1 billion. I'm sure they could have found a way to disperse those funds. Well, of course they could have. Here's the thing. Bill and Hillary are the ones that collected all that money and then only built about 5 or 6 houses over there in Haiti. Okay, so I have several questions. Since Miss Maxine wants to talk about thievery, why doesn't she call the Democrats out too? Okay, and then Terry says she acts like the Democrats aren't all about money. Exactly. Okay, I have several questions. Luna says, why isn't she talking about the Iran Sesame Street? Right, okay, they're building starting a whole new Sesame Street over there that we had to pay millions of dollars for. Please, this is all nefarious. Sandra says, you were there and kept your mouth closed too, Maxine. Exactly. Exactly. So, and here's the thing. The Democrats have been telling a whole bunch of lies. Do you all remember that time when October 28th of 2022, to be exact, when Nancy Pelosi's husband, what's his name? David, her husband David was attacked. Do you all remember that? I'm sorry. No. The guy that attacked him was named David. Her husband is Paul Pelosi. But do you all remember? I always thought it was strange that they said that somebody broke into this man's house. Now, I'm sorry, but Nancy, did you have anything to do with that? Because it was very interesting to me how conveniently there was no security and that Nancy was going somewhere with all the security, but didn't bother to leave at least one security personnel at the house for her husband who's elderly. And then somebody breaks in and attacks him with a hammer. During a home invasion in Pacific Heights, somebody broke into the Pacific Heights neighborhood, beat this elderly man with a hammer upside his head, and they didn't steal anything. They didn't report that anything was missing. Y'all don't find that interesting? Because I sure did. Left him with a fractured skull that required surgery. Attempted murder. Y'all, nobody found that interesting, that there was nothing reported stolen. Somebody broke in that house in Pacific Heights just to hit that old man upside the head with a hammer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Songwriter Sonny said the check cleared. Sandra said Nancy's husband's boyfriend. Yeah, I think Nancy knows exactly who hit him upside the head. Okay, I think she knew exactly who did it. But anyway, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now listen to this. I mean, Trump's just doing the most. Trump administration set to purchase $400 million worth of armored Teslas. And Elon Musk talked about this ain't no conflict of interest. So the Trump administration is expected to purchase $400 million worth of armored Tesla vehicles, according to a new State Department document detailing procurement for fiscal year 2025. Now, Tesla chief executive Elon Musk is a top White House official who has been leading the Department of Government Efficiency, a unit focused on shrinking the federal workforce and ferreting out corruption. Now, the document does not specify what Tesla vehicles will be purchased by U.S. officials, but Musk's Cybertruck, with its militaristic design and stainless steel exterior, could be an option. Now, after reports circulated Wednesday night of the State Department's intent to purchase Tesla vehicles, the document was edited at 9:12 p.m. and now says the federal contract is for $400 million worth of armored electric vehicles, but the word Tesla was removed. Now, why did they remove the word Tesla? I think we all know why. Please pay attention. Now, responding to a segment by MSNBC's Rachel Maddow about the $400 million contract, Musk wrote on X on Wednesday night saying, "Hey, Ed Maddow, why the lie?" Now, the State Department and Musk did not return requests for comment. Musk, who spent more than $250 million to help elect Trump, has used an X account devoted to Doge to highlight what he views as excessive or unnecessary federal contracts. As Musk deputies have gained access to nearly 24 federal agencies, ethics experts have raised concern about the billionaire running into conflicts of interest, since Musk runs 6 companies, some of which are under investigation by government authorities. Now, Musk companies, including Tesla and SpaceX, also have multi-billion dollar contracts with the federal government. Okay, but again, he said this is not a conflict of interest. Now, most of the federal money that Musk has received has gone to SpaceX, the rocket company, for projects including work for NASA to launch Musk Starship with astronauts to the moon. A new Cybertruck starts at around $82,000, and about 38,000 were sold last year, according to Cox Automotive. Now, since the vehicle's launch in 2019, the truck has faced complaints about rust, finger pinches, and defective accelerator pedals. Now, the State Department document also shows that some Tesla competitors are set to receive lucrative yet considerably smaller contracts for armored vehicles, including from BMW, which is expected to supply about $40 million worth of SUVs to the federal government. So it looks like Musk is getting the pick of the litter. Like he's getting the offer for the best contract. That's what that all sounds like, as far as I'm concerned, which I think is absolutely a conflict of interest, and quite frankly, giving him an unfair advantage over his competitors. As I said days ago, Trump's illegitimate power grab brings us closer to a dictatorship. Okay, I told you all this days ago too. So the deceptively legalistic camouflage rendered the words almost banal, while still clearly communicating their ominous undercurrent. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. This is what Vice President J.D. Vance said. Okay, whatever it lacked in rhetorical flourish or polish, the post represented an unambiguous rejection of long-established constitutional norms while offering no supporting legal basis. Now, they say it also amounted to an implied statement of intent to ignore court rulings, which, if enacted, would upend the U.S. government's intricate system of checks and balances and lay the ground for a dictatorship. And that seems what they have warned us about. The vice president has absolutely no basis in the Constitution, and the vice president has absolutely no basis in the Constitution and its historical development for making this claim. Now, this is what Bruce Ackerman, a law and political science professor at Yale University, said. Okay, he said it repudiates the fundamental principle of checks and balances. Now, Vance's intervention was triggered by a series of court rulings that have slowed Trump's pell-mell rush to grab the levers of powers across the U.S. government since returning to the presidency on January the 20th. Now, Trump, Ackerman says, has acted outside his legitimate power, okay, in arbitrarily shuttering institutions, including the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the National Labor Review Board, and the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission. Now, the latter two of which he has rendered inoperable by firing sitting Democratic members while not appointing replacements. He also summarily fired 17 inspector generals who are charged with rooting out government waste, fraud, and abuse across the executive branch without giving Congress the statutory 30-day notice. Well, like I told you all days ago, Trump's doing whatever the hell he wants. Trump is out here doing whatever he wants. He doesn't care what they have to say about it. Okay, he does not care what anybody has to say about it because, for one, he knows that they can't do anything to him, even if he's out here breaking laws. Okay? Even if he's out here breaking laws. Please pay attention. Giggle said they are committing genocide in front of our faces, taking USAID from African countries, school, free lunch, EBT, not returning land to South Africans, deporting brown and black immigrants, offering refugee protection to white South Africans only. Exactly, beloved. You're absolutely right. That is what they're doing. Okay. Thank you for your insight to the topic and your generous contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. That's exactly what they're doing. And you know, sad thing is, what's anybody going to do about it? What's anybody going to do about it? And you know, Maxine is sitting up there talking about this stuff that's going on in South Africa, but the United States has always gotten over on Africa, period. Okay, on the whole continent. They've always gone over there and tried to just run stuff. Okay, they've just tried to dictate how things are going to go. They've done all sorts of nefarious things, such as, according to mercenaries years ago, allegedly taking venom over there that had things in it to make people sick. Okay, that's just something that has been alleged, okay, by mercenaries, like I said, years ago. So they didn't say anything about any of that, okay? They didn't say anything about any of those things. They didn't bring that up. At the end of the day, all of these people have dirty hands as far as I'm concerned. All these people will do anything and everything to get what they want. All of these people are money hungry. How are you, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but you're a multimillionaire? Okay, where's all this money really going? And like I told you all days ago, a lot of the things that Elon's finding that they're allegedly claiming to have spent the funds on, I don't believe it. I don't believe they sent millions of dollars over to Iran or anywhere else to start a new Sesame Street show. That's what I don't believe. I don't believe that they spent millions of dollars on a terrorist organization that's, connected to Al-Qaeda for sandwiches. I don't believe it. This all sounds like some BS that they just made up to give account for money that they likely, in my opinion, put in their own bank accounts. Okay, that's what I think. That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong, but I also could be absolutely right. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Everyone, please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And keep those notifications on, because if there's any breaking news, I'll absolutely be back later. All right, so until next time, peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got